In Southeast Asia, Cambodia is holding its parliamentary elections at the end of this month. The ruling Cambodian People's Party is favored to win, but the opposition, the Cambodian National Rescue Party, is gaining ground with young voters. The party is using social media to slip past the tightly regulated state media. And their campaigning could tip the balance of power for the first time in decades. With more from Phnom Penh, here's Justine Drennan.
In Phnom Penh this month, supporters of both the ruling People's Party and the opposition National Rescue Party have been mounting noisy motorcades. Thousands ride trucks and motorbikes, wave flags, and block streets. The opposition's been especially loud since last Friday, when the king pardoned their top leader Sam Rainsy so he could return to Cambodia for the election. Rainsy had been living in France since 2009 to avoid arrest. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison on charges of uprooting border posts with Vietnam and defaming a senior government minister, charges Rainsy said were politically motivated. Rainsy returned to the country today and was greeted by thousands of supporters. The opposition's also been rallying a lot online, especially among Cambodia's growing young urban population. They see social media as a way around CPP control. One user on Cambodia's VOA Khmer Facebook page, responding to Rainsy's return, says, "This means that a new era in our politics has begun. We can see the new generation is growing more aware." Other commenters share this sentiment, and some like this one add that with Rainsy's return, of course he will bring more popularity to the opposition party. On other Facebook forums, some users voice more pro-CPP views, though it's less common to see them online. Last week, one wrote, "Whether Mr. Sam Rainsy comes back or not, some people won't be interested. Opposition members have been coming to join the CPP." The opposition party and observers say these defections have been staged or bought by the CPP, one instance of the ruling party's unfair control over the campaign. They say another example was an announcement late last month banning broadcasts by foreign radio stations ahead of the election, a ban reversed within a day following international condemnation. This opposition supporter thinks the ban wouldn't have helped the CPP anyway. She or he says, "There are many ways to win people over to the opposition party through our own media about our policy, rather than through foreigners, because we would improve the rule of law, investment, workers' wages, management of private companies, and exports." Opposition supporters like this one have been putting out this message not just verbally, but also through pictures on social media that tout their party and mock the CPP's logo. But with another CPP victory very probably ahead, another Facebook user recently asked, "Does Cambodian social media really allow broad discussion about the election, if the number of people who use social media is still so low, especially in the rural areas? What can we do to improve this?" The government recently estimated that there are 2.7 million Cambodian internet users. This is just 18% of the population, but it's growing rapidly. One survey found that in 2012 alone, Cambodian internet users increased 5-fold. But they're mainly in cities, and most of the population is still in the countryside, where they're grateful to the CPP-led government for bringing stability, roads, and other services. Still, whether or not Cambodian social media ultimately affects the election results, it's undeniable that it's a growing political voice. Well, the response to Rainsy's return certainly shows his popularity. There were supporters, thousands blocking the street all the way from the airport to the other side of town where he gave a speech. The government has made it clear they won't let him register late as a candidate, but he plans to campaign for his party in more than half of the 24 provinces, and he's by far the most recognized opposition face, so I think he should be a big help for them. One supporter online called his return a success for the national cause, but I think it's still not going to be enough to swing the election.